we on?
We're on.
All right. Behind the camera, we've talked about Uncle Pete. Family business, we've talked about that. Behind the camera, if he's gracious, maybe he'll even flip it on himself, Cousin Brian. So when we talk about this being a family restaurant, behind the camera, Cousin Brian. Are you going to show yourself? There he is.
Hey, buddy.
All right, part three. I know it's been a long break since part 2. Hopefully the anticipation was killing you. We're ready to go. If you remember, I ended last time saying we finally get to cook. Now, if you've been around Pop's Pizza, for any of you locals, around 4:30, 5 o'clock, if you're in the restaurant, you're gonna hear some of us say, "Let's go," which means bring on the dinner rush. So for us, we're finally gonna start cooking. So to all of you, let's go. Uncle Pete, if you're watching this, there's your shout out. There's your shout out. So tonight, the thing that everyone asks, at least most of the questions revolve around what you see on the table here. How do I spin the dough? How do I get it round? How do I look like a pizza man, pizza woman when I'm making pizza at home? We're gonna do our best. Now let me start by saying this. If you wanna go on the TikTok and the Instagram, you're gonna find groovy guys and gals who are gonna make it look flashy, professional editing. This is the real deal. Most of you watching this think of me as the insurance nerd. I just can make pizza too. So this is the real deal, family style. This is how you spin a dough. So, what we can do versus the TikTok guys is this is real life stuff. This is the stuff, kidding aside, that you'll be able to do at home. So I'm convinced after tonight, you're gonna feel comfortable. So, here we go. You see, there's no sauce, there's no cheese tonight. It's just about the dough. Let's get rolling. Insert dough joke there. All right, here we go. So we got our 3 doughs that we're gonna work on tonight. So, I'll give you a little tip. If it seems like I'm talking to a 6 or 7-year-old, it's because I am. Because I am. Here at Pop's for the last 36 years now, Uncle Pete, and now Cousin Brian and myself, we do birthday parties. So we teach 6 and 7-year-olds how to make pizza. They can do it, you can do it. So I'm gonna teach you the way we teach them, because at the end of a birthday party, they're crushing their own pies. So you're gonna be able to do the same. So if it seems like I'm talking to you like a 6-year-old, not only because you're likely an insurance broker, but because you're gonna be able to make a pizza at the end of this. All right, here we go. So here's a large dough. What we say to the kids, we get a pile of dough or a pile of flour right in the center of the table. We put our dough right on the center of it. First thing you do is you flip it around a couple times so it's not sticky. You don't want it to stick to your hands. Pretty simple stuff. Now, for the 6 and 7-year-olds, I'm gonna do it for you insurance brokers. Why not? What we do is we move to the dough to the side. We put our finger right in the center. Brian's gonna focus in on that. We make a little circle. Why do we do that? Very, very important. Because we take that index finger right to your nose. You gotta have flour on your nose. That's how you start. 36 years, don't question the process. Go with it. Go with it. All right, here's our dough. Flip it around a couple times so it's not sticky. This is what I say to the kids. Here's our 2 hands. Get them floured up so they're not sticky. I call them spider hands. Spider hands. This is how you want your hands. You want to start pressing on your dough with your spider hands. You can see the little indentations. You're gonna push straight down, straight down. What you're not gonna do is push and slide. You're not gonna tug and pull and all that fun stuff you may see on television or TV commercials. We're gonna push straight down with our spider hands, okay? Once you do that a little bit, flip it over. Make sure you got a nice layer of flour. Same thing, spider hands, push straight down. Now, you can probably tell even on video by just doing these spider hands how big our dough got already. We barely touched it. What's happening? 2 things. This has been sitting out on a table, hands are warm, we're warming up the dough. So a lot of what spinning a dough is all about is letting the magic happen all by itself. Nature kind of does a lot of the work for you. Your hands are warm, you're warming up the dough. Flip it over a couple times, you can see we've kind of doubled in size. So far so good, easy stuff. All right, so once we get to this point, we're pretty good. It's about double the size. So we did spider hands. Now, for the kids, I used to say video game hands because you used to play video games like this. That's old, dating myself. So this is kind of like texting now. So this is the motion. So if you can see my hands, kind of doing that video game thing for you old timers or texting. All right, what you want to do, put your hands under the dough. Brian's giving you a good angle. So my fingers are underneath. That motion, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. This is how we're gonna get the dough a little bigger. It's also gonna help make our crust. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go around the dough, pinch, 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 pinch all the way around. Pinch, pinch, pinch all the way around. And you can see, especially for you first timers, you can keep the dough on the table. We can pick it up and go fast as professionals. Keep it on the table. Easy to go. We're just gonna go around once. So if you do that quick, pinch, slide over, pinch, slide over, pinch, slide over, pinch, slide over. You go around once, we're almost halfway done with our dough. That's all we've done. So we did spider hands, and we did texting hands or video game hands. And you can see how big we are. We're over halfway there. Now you can see there's kind of an indentation where I did that pinching motion. There's your crust. There's your crust. You don't want to try to make a big crust. After this, we're going to spin it now, get it to the full size we want. If you remember, our large pizza here gets you about a 16-inch pie. So when you go to your restaurant, you want to talk about that diameter. Large tray, 16 inches. That's what we're making. So you have plenty of dough on the crust already. If you try to make it bigger, it's going to get really, really thick, and you're going to have a soup bowl. And your pizza's going to look like soupy. So you don't want to make your crust any bigger than it already is. You've done plenty. So now, spider hands to text hands to fists that you're going to hold sideways. Okay? Put your fists underneath the dough, give you the side view. Now to start, keep it right on the table. Flip, flip. See how we're doing that? Keep it right on the table. Now, what I would suggest at home, try to keep the mess contained. Keep your belly against your table. I have a bigger belly than most of you. It's because I make pizza every Saturday. Keep your belly against the table. That's going to block your flour. It's also going to prevent you, in a minute, when we toss the dough, from it flying all over the place. So keep your belly against the table. So you got your little fists. You're going like this. Now, I'm going to pick it up so you can see better. You can probably see my hands through the dough. Here's the goal. As you do this, you can keep it on the table to get yourself confidence, but if you want to pick it up, again, your hands are warm. Gravity is doing most of the work. I am not stretching the dough right now because I'm in no rush. Dinner hour, we're going to make a pizza in a minute, and you'll see that. But for now, to teach you, I'm not stretching at all. I'm not pulling with my hands. I'm not pushing out with my fingers. I'm just flipping it from one fist to the other. And you can see how big it's getting. Why is that? Right now, it's gravity doing its thing. Now, if you're on the table, you got less gravity, it'll take longer. If you hold it off the table, again, I'm not stretching the dough. There we go. See how it is? Now, I'm not sure if you'll see it on the video. Here's the goal. You can see that dough. It should look about the same all the way through. That means there's no thin spots. That's going to give you a nice, even cook. That's the magic. That's the magic. All right? So, now, to finish it, and then we'll do another one a little bit quicker. If you want to stretch it a little bit, you can spread your hands apart, like I am now. And look how big we are, and here's a 16-inch tray. There's your pizza. You get a little bubble like that, don't panic. Don't panic. All done. Simple stuff. All right, let's do another one. We'll speed it up a little bit. Still go slow so you can see it, but I'll do a little less talking. So as you can see, I'm just doing spider hands myself. This is exactly how we make it here in the Pizza House. So while I goofed about teaching 6 and 7-year-olds, it's kind of how me, Brian behind the camera, this is how we spin out our pizzas. So there's our spider hands. Going a little quicker now. You can see how fast it works. Now, when I do the texting hands, I'll pick it up. Gravity's gonna work for me. I'm doing the same motion. On camera, we're not speeding up the camera. That's just how our hands work. Been doing it for 30 years. There it is. Now, if I want to stretch it, I can stretch it really quick. Now you can see, it should be even right there. Now, if we time that, that was probably about 30 seconds. So, Brian and I, we can make a pizza in a minute. Next video, you're gonna come with a stopwatch. And we'll time it. We'll put on a little bit of a show. Not like those TikTok guys, but Pop's Pizza style. So there's our second dough. You can see how easy it is. See how easy it is. Yeah, I've been doing it for 30 years. It's really not hard when you follow those steps. So, let's do one more. This dough here, a little bit smaller. So depending on the doughs you get, these are 16 inches. We make small pizzas here too. Small pizza for us is 12 inches in diameter. So I'm doing the same thing. You can see it's no different when it's smaller. There's no difference at all. You want to use the same technique. So we're flattening it out with our spider hands. We'll go around quickly. You can see, just quick pinch. I just go around once. Now, we're not the TikTok team here, but those of you that have met my wife have always asked me, how did you win her? I met her when I was in college making pizza. This is how you do it. You get your pizza going, you get your hands underneath, you step back from the table, and you throw it up and you look like a cool pizza guy. That's how, guys. I got my wife. So there you go. Now, next video, we're gonna go start to finish. Tonight was about giving you these techniques so you can spin dough at home. There's no other tricks to it. Like I said, you can watch other techniques, people slapping it back and forth, all that crazy stuff. You can actually watch the annual pizza competition in Vegas that happens every year. Here's a little trick. They're not using real dough. This is the real stuff. We could cook these and make pies on these. This is the real stuff. So, hopefully that helps. Send me your questions. Send me your questions. Next video, we're gonna go start to finish. We're gonna spin our dough in real speed. We'll sauce them up, we'll cheese them, we'll put some toppings on, and we'll give you some tips on how to cook them at home. And if we want to keep going, maybe we'll teach you how to make a calzone, maybe a stromboli, maybe a couple other tricks of the trade. But for now, hopefully this helps. Send me any questions you have. Look forward to part 4. Thanks everyone. See you soon.